On this week's episode, we're talking with the president of the Brisbane Arts Theatre, Alex Lanham, and some of the main cast from the theatre's most recent show, the Addams Family Musical.
Also on today's show, we have a review of the Australian film These Final Hours and a screening of the local short film Gus. You're watching Showreel.
Welcome to Showreel. I'm Dave Rickard.
And I'm Marina, Pennisi. Later in the show, we'll be joined by the Addams families Gomez and Morticia, Richard Murphy and Aurelie Roque.
But first up, it's Alex Lanham, president of the Brisbane Arts Theatre, and Samuel Holland, who plays Uncle Fester. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having us.
Firstly, Alex, I just want to ask you, can you give us a little bit of the history of the Brisbane Arts Theatre?
Absolutely. Brisbane Arts Theatre was started originally as the Brisbane Amateur Theatre and became Brisbane Arts Theatre. We're in our 78th year, so we've been going very strong for all that time. We bought the property in Petrie Terrace in 1959. We opened it in 1961. I shouldn't say we, it makes me sound like I was there. I'm not that old. In 1963 they had a fire. We reopened in 1964. We've been going strong ever since.
Oh, awesome. Well, Alex, there's many different processes involved in putting a theatre production together, as I'm sure you know. For those of our viewers out there who don't know, did you want to go through the different stages of production? Sure.
I guess the most important thing is finding the play and making sure that play suits your theatre. After that, you then have to find yourself a director who understands the play. You then have to discuss it with your costume people and with your set designers to make sure it suits your theatre. Right. Then you go through the audition process, find the people who are going to be most suitable to the part, and you can have someone walk in, you can have an idea in your mind, this person's ideal, but they don't match up with someone else. So it's a very frustrating process, the audition process. And then you start the rehearsals, and that's when the director becomes a real autocratic sort of person and cracks the whip. And the rehearsal period for, say, a straight play might go for 6 weeks, sometimes less. For a musical, I think you guys have gone for about 12 weeks, hasn't it? It probably feels like 103 years, but it's probably been around about the 12-week mark, sometimes a bit more. And then once the show's on, when you get to Tech Week, all the actors have had this very long period of rehearsal, but your technical people, they come in, they virtually have a week to put it together. So you'll have your first tech run without your actors because they just ruin everything. So the lighting and the sound people can get everything correct. For a musical also, you've got your band that are out rehearsing. A lot of the time they're rehearsing separately. Right. And then you'll have someone who comes in and plays the piano for rehearsals. They've got a fancy word for it, but I've forgotten it. And then once you then bring it all together, they virtually, because of the Brisbane Arts Theatre, we're non-funded, so we're always having shows on. So they've only got a week to bring it together before opening night. Right. And then opening night, you have all the nerves, you have all the tears and all the frustrations and all the flowers arriving as well. And then the show opens, and from there it's just thousands of people cheering.
So all these people you mentioned, including the piano player who plays on rehearsals, all these people are volunteers?
Absolutely. We are a non-professional theatre. We're one of the unusual ones. We own our own building. Unlike any of the other theatre companies you have in Brisbane, they virtually are all in government-owned or council-owned buildings. Right. We get no grants because we do own our own building and we're not in a council building, and we're one of the only theatre companies in Australia that also employs full-time staff. So all of our revenue comes from having bums on seats. But we've had some great people start their career in theatre, both behind the scenes and on stage, and some famous names as well started at Brisbane Arts Theatre.
All right. Samuel, can I call you Sam?
Yes, no problem,
Sam. you are in the Addams Family production portraying Uncle Fester. Can you tell us about how you got the role and what it means to you?
Well, I'm an opera singer by trade and also studying at the moment at the Queensland Conservatorium. So I just went into the audition because of Farron. He's at the con, my friend,
Right.
and he's also the repetiteur for the.
That's the
word.
word.
That's the word. Repetiteur,
For
okay.
the,
So you can play a mean piano.
yeah, for the for the show, and he told me, "Would you like to audition for this?" And I said, "Yeah, why not?" Because I had nothing else on at the moment. I just finished a musical theatre cabaret night up in the Gold Coast, and it just went in, auditioned with a very silly song, and then the director rang me up a few weeks later and said, "We'd like to offer you the role of Fester." And I go, "Great, now I have to shave my head." Yeah.
Is that a worry?
No, not at all, because we tried the skull cap,
Yeah.
but it didn't look good, so we're
Okay.
going, it's shave time, yeah.
I've done the skull cap myself. I thought it was great fun.
Oh, definitely it is. If it
Yeah.
can work, it's great fun, but it didn't work, so yeah.
Tried shaving his chest and that didn't help.
So
Definitely.
putting a musical theatre production together is a really lengthy process. Do you want to explain why it takes so long to put it together?
Well, half of that Alex would know, because he's more behind the scenes than me, but half of the time it's like also an opera at the same time, musical theatre. As well, there's a lot more dancing and acting compared to opera usually, even though opera has more dramatic connotations behind it as well. We have to keep thinking, what would the character do at this moment? How can we portray this sort of emotion in these
awesome.
instances?
Well, yeah.
And also, how do we get projection
Awesome.
across? Yeah.
Well, thank you for that. We're going to take a small break, but we'll be back shortly with Rickard and Aurelie. Don't go away.
And now for this week's What's Happening in Brisbane. Nash Theatre is holding a play called Communications Breakdown. If you attend on August the 17th, part of your ticket price goes to Beyond Blue to support youth suicide prevention. Head down to see The Winter of Reason, a local Brisbane band performing at Uberfest at the Jubilee Hotel in Fortitude Valley. Support The Winter of Reason and many more local artist bands at this great event. It is 10 years later for the Addams family, and Wednesday has fallen in love. Find out what happens when she brings her normal boyfriend home to meet the family in this new comedy musical coming to Brisbane Arts Theatre. Mostly Mozart is the fourth concert in the Queensland Philharmonic Orchestra's Masterworks series. Conducted by Matthew Schwartz, this is a one-night only event, so get your tickets before they sell out.
Change your life and support people with a disability to have the choices of an ordinary life. In Endeavour Foundation's Life Changer Lottery, win 1,000 prizes valued over $2.5 million. The incredible first prize includes this luxury Italian-inspired villa at Coolum Beach on the Sunshine Coast, plus $250,000 in gold. The home offers the best of coastal living, with panoramic ocean views from spacious balconies. Inspired by Palazzo Versace Hotel, the interior features upper and lower level living areas and a modern kitchen with stone benches. 4 bedrooms provide ocean or mountain views, including a master bedroom and elegant ensuite. Entertain al fresco style with outdoor dining options and an inviting swimming pool. Enjoy the best of the Sunshine Coast scenery just around the corner. Take a quick walk to nearby Coolum Beach with its bike paths and numerous shopping and dining options. Travel in style with luxury cars and holidays. An Alfa Romeo Giulietta Distinctive or a Mazda CX-5 for the early bird draw. A Queen Elizabeth World Cruise plus gold with a total value of $100,000 and 7-star accommodation in Dubai. Enjoy holidays to Florence, Easter Island, the Maldives, or at Palazzo Versace Hotel on the Gold Coast. Win more than 400 electronic prizes and thousands of dollars in gift vouchers, including MasterCard and Flight Centre. Become an AP Rewards supporter for a chance to win up to $1.5 million in gold each year. Endeavour Foundation's determination and innovation is backed by wonderful donors and volunteers. Every lottery ticket purchased supports people with a disability. Endeavour Foundation's Life Changer Lottery. Buy your $10 tickets today at endeavourlotteries.com.au.
Time to party? Rush into Disguises Costume Hire for the best quality and biggest selection of fancy dress costumes in Brisbane. No matter the theme, we've got you covered. There's tons of categories to check out online, from the 20s to the 80s. Heroes and villains, medieval, uniforms, novelty, and sexy. We also sell a wide range of accessories. Disguises, where all great parties start. Check out disguises.com.au for their full range, or pop into 659 Stanley Street, Wollongabba.
Everyone's looking for a little bit extra.
Extra discount, extra service.
Extra value, extra range.
Style Flooring Extra are not just about the extras.
We also value your trust.
You can trust the advice my family and staff give you on selection, in-home measure and quote, quality installation and after-sales service. So come in and see Style Flooring Extra for your chance to buy at warehouse prices.
Welcome back to Showreel. We're joined now by two more cast members from the Addams Family musical, Richard Murphy and Aurelie Roque, or Gomez and Morticia. I'll start with you, Richard. Portraying the role of Gomez, that's a big role.
How'd you guess? I don't usually look like this. Yeah.
That's a big role. I mean, for me personally, I loved the show and I loved the film.
Yeah.
So it's big shoes to step in. Do you feel that yourself? Or?
There are no shortcuts. It is hard work. But for me, I didn't have a lot of exposure to the original television series, or indeed the movies for that matter. So most of my source material came from the script itself and YouTube videos and that sort of thing to try and sort of get a character together.
Yeah.
What steps did you have to take from the reading room to going on stage? Was it a big, how did the process come about?
Well, obviously everything starts with the script, and you then take your part, you learn your part as best you can, and then you develop with the other characters, your character, if you like. It will evolve. We're doing a long run, and I don't doubt that by the time we get to the end of our season, our characters will probably be a lot more rounded, and probably significantly different from they were on opening night. Yeah. So I mean, obviously not hugely different, but there will be subtle differences, and that's what you aim for. Yeah. Often in rehearsal period, you don't get the chance to do that successfully. It's only in performance that you can do that.
Aurelie, you are Morticia.
Yes.
And Gomez and Morticia are a married couple characters?
Yes, they are. Yeah.
The connection between the two of you, do you sit down before the show and have a cup of coffee and a chat, and how does that evolve?
We first met at we were both in separate shows outside of Addams Family. I was in Ignatian's Company, and you were in Secret Garden out
That's
in,
right. At Beenleigh.
In Beenleigh.
Yeah.
And so we actually missed the first couple weeks of rehearsal. I came in about a rehearsal or two before he did, and then we started with the big dinner scene, and it's both families sitting down to dinner at the Addams Family house.
Right. And
so we're sitting next to each other, and Morticia and Gomez are the epitome of unconditional love, just constantly in love with each other.
Like
and he was I remember thinking this, he was sitting there like this, just like not really talking to anyone. And I just leaned over and went like this, and I just grabbed his hand, and I went, "It's gonna be okay, baby. It's gonna be okay, sweetheart. We're gonna be good friends."
Yeah.
And then we sat down. Well, we actually came into the theater, and he and I spent a solid day, actually with Alex for a bit of it, and then with Greg Scar, our assistant director, and went over every scene that we were in.
Right.
We went over the tango that we do together, and sat down and just chatted, and because that's how
we got to know each other.
Yeah.
I mean, we'd never met.
Yes.
You know?
As actors, the first bond is with each other before the characters can truly bond. Yeah.
Well, I can tell from your accent that you're not originally from Australia. Was it like a big culture change coming from America to Australia?
Oh yeah, more than I thought. Mainly just in small ways that Australians say things.
Yeah.
The abbreviations get me every time.